All right, guys, thank you for joining me again. Appreciate it as always. All right. Prep to adapt. Let's go. 5G Trevor, thank you for the 5 by 5. Adam, thank you for the 5 by 5. Tom, thank you for the 5 by 5. Kimberly, Cowboy, Jason, Groundhog, Alcohol, Strawberry, thank you for the 5 by 5. My Sky Dad, what's going on? Dobie, The Watchman, Ozark, thank you for the 5 by 5. Uptech, Jeff, Monica, Krista, Busy, thank you for the 5 by 5. Brian, Kathy, Trapper Bob, Tina, thank you for the 5 by 5. Frank, Teddy, what's going on? Manginic? I'm sorry, Magic. Is that how you say it? Whatever. Thank you for the retard by retard. Suze, Base Bunny, Doodoo, Occurs, thank you for the 5 by 5. Mitch, Care, Carly, thank you for the 5 by 5. Total, Sunshine, Standalone, Tristan, Andrew, thank you for the 5 by 5. Joe, Vegan, Ryan, Mississippi Golf, Netherlands, right? Neanderthal, excuse me. Thank you for the 5 by 5. Eric, Raccoon Eyes, Lynn, Michigan, thank you for the 5 by 5. Highlander, Nasara, Carly, Ken, thank you for the 5 by 5. Pam is asking what 5 by 5 means. Someone answer. It just means loud and clear. It's pretty much what it means. GMA, Maverick, Moose, thank you for the 5 by 5. Prepper Revelator, thank you for the Trump by Sucks. Ed Lee, thank you for the 5 by 5. Jason, thank you for the Tar by Tar. Vegan, thank you for the Pie by Pie. All right. And David, thank you for the 5 by 5. Michelle, thank you for the 5 by 5. All right. It's funny, right? On this app I use, um, Ed Lee, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for that. And Prep to Adapt and Raccoon Eyes, thank you for the 5 by 5 on Rumble. Appreciate it. Melissa, thank you for the 5 by 5. Yeah. All right. So this is going to be fairly short because I have photos to take and videos to do at 10:30 at night. This is so stupid. I was so hyper focused in watching these videos and shit that I just lost track of time. Walking Dead when they cut out of the. All right, so what we're talking about today could get me in trouble. So we're going to try to word it as carefully as I possibly or humanly can. But according to a lot of articles coming out, there are serious problems with the mRNA. Now, not surprised, not at all, not even a little bit. Teddy, no, I carry a tourniquet in my camera bag too. So actually, in the city, I should be carrying two, to be honest with you. But two might be over the top. But whatever. I take them on vacations and shit. I'm gonna start carrying, I guess, one on my belt, one on my bag, because things are just getting way too violent. Now, again, guys, what we just watched happen in Australia and Rhode Island, again, how it happens or why it happens is irrelevant. Just be ready to jump into action. That's all. And be the next of spam. Let's go. Probably right. Anyway, so let's see. Where do we start? I want to know if you guys want to start. So, okay, scientists at Stanford University discovered that the Mr. 19 arm ticket causes deadly heart damages. Scientists at Stanford University have revealed how the mRNA can cause damages to heart cells. Experts have long sounded this alarm, stating that myocarditis an extremely rare complication of the arm ticket. Now, it's not extremely rare anymore. That's the problem that these articles keep saying. It was extremely rare. It's not anymore. Paladine made a good point. Four tourniquets, you have four limbs. I do not listen. If I need four tourniquets for my body, I am in a bad way and I'm in a bad place. But I get that. But you did make a good point. All right, expert. Sorry, data shows that one in 125,000 kids and adults under the age of 65 who were on ticketed against the problem in 2023 or between 2023 and 2024 developed that condition. Among men and boys under 25-year-old, however, the rate rose to 1 in 37,000, or 3.4 per 125,000 people. Again, I think one person that might have gotten the carditis, and then I know a bunch of people that got clots. And again, this article's not about clots. It's not about all the other shit that they're trying to avoid to talk about. They're talking about this, and they keep saying it's extremely rare. One in, what is it? 3 in 125 is not extremely rare. Extremely rare would be like 1 in, I don't know, 1 billion. That's extremely rare. And there are diseases out there that do exist. What was the disease from the movie Awakening? That, I was just researching that. I'm going to do a video on that. That's a very peculiar disease that popped up out of nowhere. Let's see. I wanted to talk about right. So this disease that popped up out of nowhere, it came during it was called encephalitis lethargica, if I said that right. That popped up between 1915 and 1926. It appeared suddenly in the world and then disappeared just as quick as it came about, right? So, and that was the disease that put people in that coma. Remember the one with Robert De Niro, Robin Williams, the movie Awakening? That put them in a coma-like state. And in the movie, they were awakened by a drug that was a synthetic L-dopamine, right? Specifically L-dopamine. Now, the chronic encephalitis disease that popped up out of nowhere, that they till this day say was mysterious, till this day they still don't know where it came from, and again, disappearing. They said that only a certain amount of people passed away from it. Not everyone. You know, certain people were debilitated. Some people recovered, but a lot of people went into that coma-like state. By the way, for those of you that are interested, the awakened patients that were in the movie, Lillian was the last one to die back in 1992. Just in case anybody was curious about that. And I think the doctor passed away a while ago too, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to do a video on that because I find it interesting, guys, that it was L-Dopa, not dopamine, L-Dopa. Was a synthetic drug that was made and that temporarily awoken these patients out of their long coma. I think the longest one there was like 30-something years in a coma. But anyway. So, all of that to say, guys, is that what we are experiencing with the Mr. 19 nonsense, it's only going to get worse. We're only at the 5-year mark. We have to wait for the 10, 15, and 20-year mark. The 20-year mark is definitely going to be, we're going to see a lot of bad problems. And we might see, in the 20-year mark, we might see that problem transcend down the kids, right? Or move down the kids, however you want to say it. It's definitely going to be a problem. And I'm going to tell you why it's going to be a problem. So now, again, this is a study out of Stanford that discovered that there's heart damage from that arm ticket. Then you have the FDA, which is going to put a serious warning label on it, right? They're putting their black box warning label on the Mr. 19 arm ticket. So now this is the US FDA, which is deciding to do this, not the CDC, right? So again, they're looking at this because there's a lot of drawbacks from taking this, and now they're recognizing it, or rather, they're being open about it now than they were before. Renee, that sucks. Renee says, my co-worker developed MS from the arm ticket. It's strange. Suze, I'm going to look that up. I know that there was a dancing disease in Africa recently, like last year, if I'm not mistaken. They said dancing plague in 1518. She said 1200s, and there was a dancing disease in Africa last year. I don't know if these, but in Africa, it seemed to have worn off. It wore off in these people. I don't think they died from it, but I definitely want to look at that. Anyway, so um, here's where it gets really, really interesting. So there's a doctor. His name is Dr. Phillips Buckholtz, right? Philip Buckholtz is a professor out of USC. For whatever reason, he decided, this is 2 years ago, by the way, he decided that he was going to look into the arm ticket. And in the arm ticket, he found DNA plasmid. Now, the DNA plasmid is in the Mr. 19 arm tickets. Canada confirmed that these DNA plasmids were in these injections. So, Canada on Thursday confirmed the presence of DNA contamination in Pfizer stuff, and also confirmed that Pfizer did not disclose the contamination to the public authority. Now, here's where, again, it gets interesting. In South Carolina, there was a hearing. Again, Dr. Phillips Buckholt found this stuff. He found this 2 years ago. He was trying to be generous in stating that this was an accident, or he thinks it was an accident, though his eyes said something completely different. Um, he found this coded DNA. Now, the DNA that was supposed to go in the arm ticket was supposed to be a naked DNA or blank. Wasn't supposed to be coded or signed to anything. It was supposed to be, like I said, blank or naked. But instead, he found coded. With that, the coding he found, he states, is connected to the possibility, again, this was 2 years ago, the possibility of future cancer risks. Future cancer risks. What are we seeing now in 2025? All right. So now, the Pfizer mRNA stuff is contaminated with plasmid DNA vector that was used as a template for the in vitro transcription reaction, or rather, pretty much just a blueprint or helping with the blueprint of the mRNA. Now, a naked DNA, the body would just absorb it with no consequences, right? The body would like eat it up, if you will. And a coded DNA marries to yours and can start changing inside your body, can start changing the coding inside your body, excuse me. It is why he says, and he said this 2 years ago, there is a theoretical risk of future cancers depending on the piece of DNA and the site it's at, or the site it attaches itself to. When he means site, he means different parts of the body. All right. He thinks it was accidental or incompetence, but his eyes said malice. Because how do you overlook something this obvious? And he said it was obvious. SV40 was found in samples. Betty, I heard it. I heard that too. Now he states that the naked DNA is supposed to be used when mixed with the RNA. Coded DNA is very dangerous because it depends on where. It depends on what it's coated with. Every study that comes out now, every study, guys, that comes out from what I spoke about earlier, every study that comes out is going to be heavily debunked or debated. This guy from South Carolina, this professor, they can't debate him with this one. This was a lock. That means they can't. There's nowhere they can go. There's nothing they can look at and they'd be like, oh, he's lying. So this is the problem. And the DNA, that guys, can cause some of the rarest but serious side effects in death from cardiac arrest. That's another problem with the coded DNA. And here's the other problem. The DNA can and likely will integrate into the genomes of the transfected cells. Again, wherever that might be in the body. There is also a very real hazard of genome modification of long-lived somatic cells, which could cause sustained autoimmune attacks towards that tissue, which we are seeing people die from that, where their body's turning in on itself. Here's the other problem that he mentioned in the video with this coded problem. The coding problem now can, again, go to your kids, like I mentioned earlier. Your kids can now develop some weird ailment down the line, or lies dormant in their genes and gets passed on to another kid. Michigan, thank you. He said the 2030 agenda. But then it dawned on me, look at all of the people getting sick. Look at all of the people with Mr. C's. Look at all the people with psych issues or rare ailments. People with respiratory problems now. Respiratory problems now. People with diseases they can't explain. People with sleeping problems. Not even apnea. What is that? The insomnia. Right? So a lot of people. So there are all of these problems coming up because of this. That's an issue. Yeah, Lori, I guess RSV might be another one. People are more, people are getting sicker easier now. Like I've never seen anything like it. You know, everybody's getting, not everybody, but a lot of people are getting RSV and the flu now, like it was free, right? Cancer rates have skyrocket. Cardiac issues are through the roof. There was a cardiac doctor. I forgot. I want to say Connecticut, but I might be wrong. Maybe it was Westchester, stating that they've never seen so many people get cardiac testing. At her lab or her office, she goes, she's booked every day for the next 6 months. Before that, she might have been booked out of the month, probably 8-10 times a month. Right? That's like 2 a week. I don't know how anybody sustains a business that way, but that's what it was. Now, every day of the week, she's booked. I did, Johnny 308, yes. I noticed the sinus infections are on the rise too, but everything's on the rise. You name it, it's on the rise. Skin problems, cardiac, digestional problems, right? Stomach issues, liver problems, kidneys, and like anything in the body that could be affected, the brain. A lot of things are getting way worse, and people are waking up to it. And I'm going to do a video on this. Obviously, it's going to be way shorter. But the problem, guys, is that we're seeing an increase in a lot of these things. And this doctor, Dr. Philip Buckholt, that spoke about this at a Senate hearing back in 2023 of September, stated that we could theoretically see a future risk in cancers. We are in 2025, and what are we seeing now? Guys, this is one of the more, listen, for those of us that didn't take it, it's not serious. For those that did take it, you should take this very seriously. Now, what can you do? There's a lot of these medication protocols out there, or rather supplement protocols out there that can deactivate the spike protein. I don't know if that's going to help. I know, guys, that anything that alters your DNA, you cannot reverse it. That's the bottom line. A lot of people are like, you can't reverse anything that alters your DNA. This is not The Fly, right? And The Fly, when he wanted to change The Fly 2, when he wanted to cure himself, this isn't that. This is way more serious than that. And people should take this seriously. Again, with all of these studies, there's so many studies coming out about that nonsense, the arm ticket. There's so many things coming out about it. It's insane right now. It's insane as to, I can't keep track of all of these studies that are coming out. All right. So anyway, I say all of that to say, guys, is that this is going to get way more interesting the next few years. Forget about months. The next few years is going to get a lot more interesting because we're going to see a lot more problems derived from this nonsense that's getting out of hand. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go off the air now. I hit my 20-minute mark. I will see some of you guys on the Angry Truth channel for the Wednesday midweek report. Outside of that, guys, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it as always. I will see you guys, some of you guys tomorrow. I'll see the rest of you guys Thursday. All right, guys, thank you.